Hey, what's up everyone? Refill coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video, and today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the complete TCG list for the Structure Deck Spirit Charmer. Yes, we have another Charmer video. We're not done with the Structure Deck yet. We probably have another 2 videos after this, going over opening of the decks and of course the deck profile once I have all the cards. But main reason I wanted to make this video is you guys have probably seen that the list for us here in the TCG is quite different to the OCG list, which is weird considering that I believe the Sacred Beast and the Shaddoll decks were basically identical. So there's been a lot of discrepancy with evenly matched not being included here in this version of the deck. Now I could go through every single card here. That of course would make the video really long, and I have been through every card in the OCG list, which I've got a video up here on the channel, which you guys can check out. I'm going to go through some key cards that I question them still being in the deck now that certain other cards have been removed, and I'm definitely going to talk about the cards that have actually been removed. So first off, you would know that for us here in the TCG, we don't get the special extra promo pack thingy that they get over in the OCG. And of course, in the OCG, the pack had the 4 Familiar Possessed Charmers, and you also got the Masters of the Spiritual Arts spell. One of those was guaranteed to be a Prismatic Secret, and you had the chance of getting an alternate art Charmer. The alternate art Charmer was only in that rarity, and you only had a chance to get it. It wasn't guaranteed that if you got a Prismatic Secret Charmer, you were going to get the alternate art. So luckily for us here in the TCG, we are getting one guaranteed ultra rare alternate art of the Familiar Possessed Charmers. So theoretically, if you bought 4, you would hopefully get 1 of each. There's no guarantee. I'm going to be buying 3, so hopefully we can get 1 of each. Based on the OCG pricing, Win is the most expensive. I don't know how that's going to reflect here in the TCG. I would expect Heater to probably be the least expensive because her pets are a little less reliable in terms of deck construction and usability in the deck as a whole compared to the other 3 pets. So that's just my personal opinion. I know Heater's Link is probably the most useful link, so I don't have a problem with her pets being less relevant to the Charmer deck as her link is actually more usable in the actual overall game itself. So all your monsters are the same. The only thing I question, with the exception of Santa Claus and Sangan missing, which is surprising that Sangan's missing because it could search out the pets, but the deck is perfectly capable of doing that anyway. Santa Claus missing, I don't have a problem with. I question why it was in there in the OCG deck in the first place. It's not a spellcaster. Doesn't really synergize attribute-wise with the deck, with attack point-wise, anything like that. So I don't have a problem with it missing. I thought it was, maybe they were just trying to find a final slot for the deck. So that was always weird. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with Rella being in the deck now because, yes, she's an 1850 spellcaster that can trigger Unpossessed when you Awakening of the Possessed when you summon her, and she has this effect where she can, I think, equip spells from your deck by discarding a card. So the main play you would use her for is to equip Wonder Wand, and Wonder Wand was actually in the OCG version of the deck. For some reason, it's not here in our TCG version of the deck, which really does surprise me quite a lot, actually. So it's a bit weird that she's included. Of course, getting Effect Veiler is still in here, which is really, really nice. So, other spells that were missing was Heatwave. People were really worried about that missing. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. They do give us Raigeki, though, so in terms of swapping out Raigeki and Heatwave, I'm okay with that. Raigeki as a common printing, especially coming in a casual deck, is really nice. This deck can struggle to clear... This archetype can struggle to clear boards pretty effectively. So they do have, of course, Possessed Partnerships, which you might know as Teamwork of the Possessed. They changed the name. But obviously getting Raigeki is nice as a way to clear the board. It is okay that they reprinted it because everyone's chasing after Lightning Storm anyway, so it's nice that we finally have access to a common Raigeki. Dark Ruler No More is still here, thank goodness. Obviously, it was one of the 2 big draw cards from the OCG version of the deck, getting Evenly and Dark Ruler, and I was hoping that both were going to come. I was pretty sure that one wasn't going to come, and out of the 2, it made sense that Evenly wasn't the one. Evenly obviously being the more expensive card, but I'm glad they gave us at least one of them. I would be absolutely gobsmacked if we didn't get either. There had to be a reason for people who didn't care about Charmers to buy this deck. So obviously you are getting a decent amount of reprints in here in the spell trap slot. Of course, you get Effect Veiler and Denko Saka in your monster slot, which I know people will be keen about. They're not overly expensive. They're not overly hard to find, but they are nice staple cards that we do get to see here in the common slot for the structure deck. But of course, getting cards like Dimensional Barrier, Metaverse, Terraforming, Twin Twister, Dark Ruler, Spellbook of Knowledge is great here, Raigeki, Secret Village. There are some fantastic reprints here in the Spell and Trap card slot. We also do get the Solemn Warning. Would have preferred it be a Judgment. I feel like Judgment's a little bit more relevant in the current game today, and I don't think it would have been too much of a problem printing Judgment as a common. It's everywhere. Everyone has one, but it'd be nice for new players to be able to get a hold of it. And we also get the token. So there are 5 tokens, each with a different artwork. Brand new artwork, not featured on any of the cards. I've talked about those in other videos. You're guaranteed 1 per deck, and there are 5. So theoretically, you'd have to buy 5 at the minimum. That's why I was hoping that people would be buying lots of copies of this for the staples, like the Dark Rulers and the Evenlies, so the tokens would flood the market. I think their deck is still going to sell really well because of the reprints, but hopefully the tokens won't be too expensive. But I feel in terms of the Charmer side of things, they probably will hold the most value, as they are the most useful outside of everything else that you're getting Charmer related. You're getting reprints of the 4 Charmer Spiritual Art traps. The Water one did see some play with Dino Mist, so it's nice to see that reprinted again. They are in commons. The Fire and the Earth one are kind of the Wind one's also pretty decent, so nice to see those. Obviously, the Wind and the Water upgraded pet, so Awakened Possessed, Gigabyte, and Awakened Possessed Ranru are not in the structure deck. They weren't in the OCG structure deck. They were imported for us as secret rare promos in Dragons of Legend, so they're probably not going to be in the next set, which I can't remember what it's. Phantom Rage. Is it Phantom Rage? I think it's Phantom Rage. They were commons in Phantom Rage and OCG. They were printed as secret rares for us, which I don't particularly have a problem with. Makes them easier to get. Means I don't have to buy Phantom Rage, and hope that people didn't throw out their commons, their common Charmer pets. So, obviously there are some good reprints here. But of course, not having Evenly is a huge detriment to the potential sales of the deck. Evenly itself, I guess you would probably run the risk of here in the TCG Evenly dropping to maybe a $10 card, which I think is fine. The other problem is, of course, Evenly becoming more expensive than the deck itself. Now, we've seen there are definitely examples where structured cards reprinted in structure decks hold the entire value of the structure deck. I think for a long time, a lot of people bought the Salaman Great TD specifically because it had Ash Blossom in it. Of course, Salads turned out to be an incredible deck, but the reprinting of Ash Blossom as a common in the structure deck really helped boost the sales of that deck, Ash being such a staple card. And I know the existence of Dark Rule No More and D-Barry in this will, and of course Raigeki, will easily bump up the sales of this deck. It is a huge disappointment that this deck wouldn't have sold as well as it did without Evenly. I guess the argument they could make is it would really just take away too much from the Charmers if people were just buying it for the staples, but I don't think that's really the issue here. The issue is that they have once again changed structure decks components simply so that they can potentially push Evenly in more premium products. I do expect another Evenly reprint in the next import reprint set that'll come out probably next year or next year's Megatins. Maybe it was too soon for Evenly to be reprinted as a common in the TCG. I don't think so. It's not like, yes, Evenly is not super difficult to get, but for new players, it can be quite annoying to get a hold of, so it would have been nice to have it in a structure deck, especially for casual players as well, getting hold on Evenly. Evenly is a very competitive card, but it would be nice to give casual players, which this deck is predominantly aimed at, by the way, access to Evenly Matched. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the deck. It is coming out next week. I will be buying 3 of them, and I will be cracking them open here on the channel because we do have that variance in it with the token, the structure deck, and the playmat. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this list in the comments below. if you haven't already and you really want to see more Charmer content, you can check it up here on the channel. As always, if you like my videos, please consider subscribing. It really does help a lot. I'm trying to reach 400 by the end of the year. Really appreciate it if you guys can help me get there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you for my next video.